word. I don't even know if I can believe them. Today is 9/20/2025 on the Oregon coast of the United States of America. It is currently 11:21 a.m. and I don't know what the temperature is, but it is overcasty and normal stuff. And now my dog's like, "Oh, you're talking, so here I come. I'm going to be here. You're going to say hello to me." This is her. Temperance here. Temperance, can they see you? There she is. Hi, Temperance. Hey, girl. I know, I see you. There you are. Hi, sweet thing. I know. My son said that her behavior is normal for a pit bull. I think that she's got PTSD from being a puppy. And when she was about a year when we moved here, and I don't know. She's a good girl, though. And there's Walter. Hi, Walter. Here's Walter. Hi, Walter. Anyway, I am here to talk about everything that is dumb. It's funny. Like last week, I was sick from work. I missed two. I only wanted to miss 2 days, but because I hate the word throwing up, but that's what happened. I was throwing up because I was throwing up. My job requires that you are be gone 48 hours after you throw up. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Anyway, so, but it's funny because one of my supervisors like held a meeting on Friday morning talking about being absent and the things that you need. And anyway, and I'm like, okay, so, and she's, I know that the fact for her, I haven't been working there very long, and how dare I get sick when I've only been working there less than a certain amount of time, right? And it's like, well, my body is 61 and it's going to get sick when gets sick, right? And a lot of it is just the stress from the job itself, right? Like, I talk about the fact a lot that I am really tired of having a job where one person is required to do at least the job of two people, if not more. Typically, two is just normal, right? 3 to 5 is where they're pushing it. And I'm saying, and the training is minimal. And although here there is more support than some places, depending on where I'm at, because I'm split between two different places. So I'm over here working and over here working every other day, right? And trying to do a new job and being put like in a position where the person that left was not as organized as me, so all the desk area is a mess, right? Like I walk into a mess and it's like, oh, here, and I'm like, cool, this is really cool. So those things cause me to not feel good, as well as not eating right. I ate McDonald's. I don't think that helped it. And other stressors, like the things that are going on in our world right now. Um, Here, I want to play something. Dancing, dancing. I'll play me dancing. How long is this one? It's not very long, but whatever. Anyway, so this whole Charlie Kirk thing, and I've been saying for a while that I'm nobody, and I doubt that there's really anyone who listens to what I have to say or thinks that my words solid. Like if you can even follow along, I'll be impressed, because sometimes it's hard for me to follow along, right? But we've got these things going on with like Charlie Kirk, and it really blows me away that people are making him into what they're making him into, because I disagreed with everything he said, and I do not believe that anybody should be shot. And I know I've said this before, and the way things went down, I disagree with all of it. I disagree with him. I disagree with the way things went down. I disagree with the way it's being handled. I disagree with what the news is doing. I disagree with the fact that all of these things, right? I totally disagree with all of it. And so I'm sitting here and I'm looking and I'm watching people that I'm interacting with on a daily basis that are like so out, like I'm talking to somebody about brown people and how they might be more free right now, right? And I'm like, ICE was in Oregon, not too far from here, not too long ago, right? And it's like, and I'm just going, this is the problem. There are too many people. Like, I understand everybody has things going on in their lives. I get that. Me too, right? Like, there's things in my household. There's things, there's a lot of things. Like, there's things going on in everyone's life. But if you're not paying attention to what is happening with our government. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to the news this morning and they're saying courts this and courts that, and people disagree with blah, blah, blah. Nobody is stopping him. Nobody is stopping him. And it's like, it's unconstitutional, so fucking what? Is that stopped him yet? No, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm like, and it's funny because Ty Cobb, and I knew I recognized him. He was on something last night. I can't think of what he was on. Oh, he was on Kirsten, whatever her name is. She took over Meet the Press. And he was on there last night. And it was funny. I'll try to see if I can find a clip of it. I always do that and I can't. But anyway, he was on there last night and she says, well, blah, 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 about a constitutional crisis. And he's like, no, we're in a constitutional crisis. We're not getting there. We're not slipping into, he didn't say all that. He said we're in. And it's like on her side, like she didn't expect that response at all. I mean, it took her a minute to gather herself and come back and be like, oh, what? What? And I know someone in her ear was like, ask him, miss, ask him, because they were not expecting it. And you could tell by the look on her face, right? And I'm like, but Ty Cobb, and I knew he looked familiar. And I'm like, and she also asked him, because he worked for Trump, right? He was a lawyer for Trump in the first administration. And it's like, when I heard that name, I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't he like, wasn't he? And he was. And she asked him, she said, well, do you regret working for him? And he's all, well, no, serving my country. And it's like, you fucking allowed him to. Okay, maybe they did stop him in the beginning. I don't know. I don't know what my take is on that. Like, because now there are no guardrails for him. Nobody is stopping him. Ted Cruz is all painting over the Charlie Kirk shit on the bridge with his big old fucking beer belly or bourbon belly, whatever, sticking out of there of his Texas shirt, you know, and it's just like, whatever. And he's talking like about how what Donald Trump is doing is wrong. And it's like, as you're looking his boots in the next sentence. So what they're saying, the fact that there are some people coming out and being like, oh, well, this is wrong, that are still licking his boots and patting his head and telling him, sitting around the table and telling him how wonderful he is and asking him, well, what is it you want me to say? How much money do you want me to say I'm going to be spending, Mr. Sir, right? Like, the fact that all those people are doing that, even if they speak out, it does not make a difference unless you fucking find a way to stop him. And although it's like Ty Cobb, and I do not agree with him. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I feel about him because I know that he worked in the first Trump administration and he was a lawyer there, and I don't know much more about his beliefs, but I do know what he said last night, what I heard him say on Meet the Press. I don't know if it was last night because I was watching it on YouTube. My dog always thinks she's starving when I get on in here. She's like, oh, and by the way, you forgot to fill the puzzle full of food so that I could eat it. So could you please go do that for me? I'll do that. Let me find something else. And then I'll continue talking about Ty Cobb. Because, I mean, he said it's going to take us probably a decade to come back from this. And and it's like, again, she was like, what? You know, I mean, I could just tell. She was so shocked by him saying that. And it's like, but that's where we are. And finally, like, and I've said this already before too, Rachel Maddow finally like, oh, work about, dude, we fucking have been there. And she knew it. They knew it. Everybody knows what's happening. And they're just like, everybody's just making money off of it and not saying what needs to be said. Because why? I don't know. I don't know what the end game is. I was telling my son, I said, and I've said this before, they're trying to kill off a certain amount of people so they can create something they think, you know, and that's not going to work. It's never worked. Other people have tried this in history. Hitler tried it. It didn't work. There will be an uprising and there will be like, I'm afraid of what's going to happen on the ground. I mean, it may not happen in my lifetime. I don't know, but it'll happen for sure in my child's lifetime. He's only 25, right? And it's like, this can't go on where they're pitting everybody. Because now there's the Charlie Kirk thing. Oh my God, he was our God, you know. And it's like, so that's a reason for those people, Donald Trump and his followers, to be pissed off at anybody who doesn't believe what they believe and go after them. And it's happening on the ground. That's the thing. It's like it's happening to everyday people because those at the top, if it's like what we see we do, right? I mean, it's hurt. And I've said this before. I had a mom being like, oh, my son said fuck, and I'm like, how are you supposed to teach your kids not to say fuck when this is what's happening in our country? And the president said it right on national TV. So it's just a fucking word. What matters is how you act and how you behave and how you treat people. So I can say fuck and still be the nicest person. That's it. I'm getting tired of being nice. Because although my son the other day said to me, and I think he's right. He's like, "You put in your time, mom. You have worked all your life, and you've given into the system and given into the system and given into the system. And now, when it comes to the end of my life, I have to continue to do that. I can't pursue my art. I can't pursue. This was when COVID hit, and I was gifted, some time to be able to go out and do the things that I love. Now on Saturdays, when it's frustrating to me. I want to be able to do what I love to do, right? Not, I mean, finally, I like my whole life I have worked, and I have worked 2 and 3 jobs, and I've paid into the system, and I've done for the people that you know, benefited from it more than me. I mean, I've been the worker bee, right? And I've worked more than, like, I've always, when I worked in restaurants, they always sent everybody home and left me alone because I could handle it when it got busy, right? And then they would fucking slam me. And it's like, and I handled it. I did that all of my life. I've done this all of my life. And I'm sitting here going, and I'm 61, and I'm hoping that I only have 1 year left of this. And then I see what's happening with people like Charlie Kirk, who, how old was he? Never even went to college, spewing hate. His wife, his kids, they're going to be fine. They're not going to struggle to pay the power bill like a lot of people are. I'm reading things on Reddit, although I don't know how much of anything I believe anymore. I don't even believe, that's another thing. I saw the Bullwhack, whoever his name is, from the Bullwhack on MSNBC. He's like, oh yeah, well, subscribe to the Bullwhack because people are going to start coming to independent. Well, do I believe you? You have advertisers, so do I believe you? I mean, it's like, are your advertisers good people? Or are they just paying you enough to say they're good people? Because I just don't know. It's like, who do we even believe anymore with all of this? We know that he tries to change the numbers on everything, and everything he says is not true, and it goes from I've solved 10 wars to 7 wars to 6 to God, it's going to be 20 next. I didn't even know that there were that many wars going on. So now I'm really bummed out because people aren't saying, well, there aren't that many wars, so you couldn't have solved them. They're just saying he didn't solve them. So I'm like, oh, so there really are 10 wars currently going on. So obviously I've been an ostrich as well. But when I see these people that aren't even like paying attention to the fact that if you're brown, you should be, anybody should be, I'm afraid. I am a 61-year-old white woman talking to a channel where nobody probably listens, right? I mean, I've got some subscribers, so somebody listens to something, but not enough people where I feel like I can make a huge difference. And I am still, because they are, they can, I mean, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and Amazon, they all have my information, right? YouTube, they all have my information. So and if I say Charlie Kirk, which I've said multiple times in this, whatever, when I'm talking and dancing, I wore, a little embarrassed too, I wore a pair of pants to work yesterday that I wore when I weighed that weight, which was 20 pounds ago. And they were a little tight, and I was just excited that I got them on, but I probably shouldn't have worn them. But anyway, but see, I am healthy. Anyway, I'm just sad because I haven't been out dancing at the ocean. Well, that's not true. I went last weekend. The sad thing about it was that I haven't recorded, so I need to record again because I'm curious to see if I've improved. But I've already talked about my camera, how my phone camera slash whatever, I left it at my old job. So, and they called the police on me to tell me not to come back. Literally, and I didn't even, like, it didn't occur to me because I was in such a state of disassociation when they fired me, that the reason they called to tell me not to come back was because some of my stuff was there. So instead of being like, you can have somebody come and pick up your stuff, right? I don't know. That's this. And of course, they were MAGA. So I tried really hard when all this came around. Like I dated a couple of MAGA guys, right, to try to see to this point of view. But now, I can't because I've said this and I've been saying this for months that he's going to do everything he can to distract from the Epstein files, and it's starting to work. It's starting to work. There are people that are angry about it that it may not work with, but there's a larger, like he's got, like I wouldn't even be surprised if Charlie Kirk was something that he set up. That's I know, sounds conspiracy-ish, but I wouldn't be surprised, right? That's my thoughts on that. I'm like, because I knew he was going to have to do something pretty major, right? And for some reason, I don't know. I mean, arresting people, throwing people on the ground by ice, having our police walk through the streets and break people's car windows isn't enough, right? That's not enough of a distraction right now because pretty soon it's. And the thing about it is even if something happens and Trump does go away in 2028, this is the damage that is being done right now is, at, like Ty Cobb says, 10 years at least, if not irreparable, right? I mean, it's super hard for me to feel like there's a good reason even to wake up anymore. I hate that. Although I did cut my hair because I realized that I have thin hair and there was no point in trying to grow it longer, so I cut it again, which makes me happier. My mom's always like, long. But anyway, I don't know. There's me again dancing. What? Temperance. Hi, girl. Hi. What are you doing? Do you have a toy? The dogs. Maybe I should just go to the beach today and dance, right? I think I'm too stiff. I need to be flowier. I don't know. I'm 61, whatever. I never had dancing lessons. And now I'm distracted as to what I was talking about, so I should probably just sign off because it's pointless. I'm just so frustrated with it. I'm watching the stupid nose. I mean, nose, news. Hi, girl. Hi. What you doing? What? What? Hi, girl. Trying not to be irritated that my dog is like. I just want someplace with land where I can open the door and they can run and I can keep the door open. Here it's like there's stairs and there's not enough land and they don't run and I don't know. Stop it. I hate this. I never feel like I'm enough. hiring dips in Trump economy. They're saying that's news. New hiring dips in Trump economy. Okay, whatever. No shit, really? You think? I wonder if I can find Ty Cobb and Meat Press. I'm gonna try to find that. My dog's got me distracted. I feel bad. I feel like I should be a better dog dog parent. I shouldn't have got so many dogs when I was working as much as I was. Okay, here we go. This is what I want. Oh, this is only... Is this it, though? I won't be able to hear it. Can you hear it? I don't even know if my thing's working. My stream's working. Nope. You can't hear desktop audio. Shit.
Gives you personalized guidance to improve your credit, savings, taxes, and more. So you can find your way to money.
No.
Intuit Credit Karma.
I wonder how long this is. It's only a minute.
Putin, when he took over in the early 2000s, one of the first things he did was systematically silence critical media outlets, and independent TV channels were bought out or shut down. Trump is waging war on people who offend him.
Funny. What he said right there,
he's all about vengeance.
I said that at my past job, the job that fired me, that was MAGA. I told one of the bosses' pet, whoever she was, but I told her, I said, Trump is out for revenge, and he does not fucking care. He's gonna take revenge on whoever he can, and it's gonna hurt all of us, and he doesn't fucking care. And she's like, nah, that's not true. Really? Okay.
And sadly, his subordinates, like one of the Project 2025 authors, Brandon Carr of the FCC, are following in line, and perhaps the Presidential Crimes Commission that Representative Swalwell called for recently can consider this at the end of this administration. But these people are, abandoning our constitutional rights and our constitutional freedoms. He always favors whatever enriches him or flatters him. And in this circumstance, he's greatly enriched if he can silence his critics because he has free reign at that stage of the game.
Do you think the country is headed toward a constitutional crisis? Sorry.
Yes, I think we're already there. I think it will take at least a generation for the country to regain the freedoms that we enjoyed 9 months ago.
Cut the part where they cut it, where you could see her face, where she was like, "What the what?" I'm gonna see if I can find that part of it. Let me see. This is a YouTube video, so let's see. Well, they all are, obviously.
As prospectors, we know ourselves a boom. And booming Wi-Fi deserves a booming phone from Xfinity Mobile.
Get Xfinity Mobile on us for a year. Right now, claim an unlimited mobile line included with your Xfinity Internet. Switch today.
Welcome to Meet the Press Now. I am Kristen Welker in Philadelphia. Right now, American leaders, both political and cultural, are navigating a complicated and fraught moment following Charlie Kirk's assassination. As President Trump blames his rivals for the tragedy, and his administration tests how far it can go to crack down on dissent. It's forcing Republicans to grapple with how far they're willing to go to support free speech, and Democrats to grapple with how far they're willing to go to respond. It comes as the backlash grows following ABC's suspension of late in the law Get Your Reaction to hearing that ABC had indefinitely suspended.
Are following in line, and perhaps the Presidential Crimes Commission that Representative Swalwell called for recently can consider this at the end of this administration. But these people are, abandoning our constitutional rights and our constitutional freedoms. Even Senator Loomis today, by saying, she doesn't feel like enforcing the First Amendment at this point, despite having, liked it when it suited her. That's a violation of her oath of office, where she takes an oath to preserve and protect the Constitution. So I think this is really tragic, and I think, as Carr said yesterday, there will be more shoes to drop. I think we can count on that. This will be 3.5 more years of vengeance.
Although the look on her face, my
Well,
understanding is
that's a pretty dire picture.
My understanding is, and I've tried this, they put their tongues on the roof of their mouth. That's a good way to stop from talking. I'll have to remember that. When someone's talking to me, I'm like, roof of your mouth. Makes it hard to just say words. It's also, exercise for your face, right? I can't see myself very well, but anyway, okay. But it doesn't matter because her
painting tie, and I guess my question for you is,
everything changes
do you
in
see
this,
any guardrails? Is there anything at this point that could prevent the FCC from cracking down on other media outlets, as you heard President Trump warn could happen? How do you see this?
So I think let's take the president's statement about revoking the licenses to the networks. There are no licenses to the networks. That's how little he knows about the way the government works. But I think you'll see the FCC cracking down. I think you'll see more threats of the type that they've used successfully. I mean, pretty soon the only comedian left standing is going to be Caroline Levitt. I think it's really difficult in a country where the founders created three.
I thought that was great. I'm like, oh, she's a comedian. I think someone's coming home, so I have to go open the gate. On my way. Okay, I'll be right back. Wait, I'll go back to me real quick. Okay. No, you guys stay. No. Let me give you food. No, thing will just bark at everybody. I was gonna feed them, but then Walter will just sit there and growl at everybody and annoy me, so. And of course they thought that they were going to get out because I went outside and I heard the gate. Even though I was opening it, not closing it. Even though I haven't, well, that's not true, I have done this lately. I just haven't recorded it. Yeah, and last time I went, bummed me out. Last time I went to the ocean, and then I'll get back to Ty Cobb. When I was dancing, there was a brown pelican. And I'm like, oh, I'm sculpting a brown pelican. I showed that when I was streaming a while ago. Anyway, it might have been the last time. But anyway, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take a picture. And then I look at it and it's got a broken wing. I'm like, fuck. And that morning when I was playing with my dogs, there was a bird next to my house that was dead because there was a storm the night before. So the bird hit the house and then, I'm sure that's why the pelican's wing was broken, but I'm just like, great. So somebody was calling, I don't know, maybe trying to call the Forestry Service to see if, I don't know why. And I don't know who they were calling, but there was a woman on the phone, like pacing back and forth in front of the Pelican. So I thought maybe she's trying to call somebody. And then I walked at the beach and came back, and there was nothing. There was some people standing around and stuff. And so I sat down, like there was a stream that led to where the Pelican was, right? So I was just sitting in the stream, kind of, because it's going to die, right? And so it's either, unless the Forestry Service comes and takes it away and mends its wing, the tide was rising, is going to come in, it's going to float out, and it's going to go back into the ecosystem, right? Is the way it would happen in nature, right? And so, so I'm sitting there kind of a distance from it because I don't want to freak it out, right? Because I'm like, I just want to be with this pelican for a minute because I know it's going to die, right? And so, I don't know, it's weird, whatever. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm peacefully sitting, and there's people walking. I know there's other people, but these 3 fucking dogs go running up, and then there's off leash, of course, and there's this guy screaming, nah, to his dogs, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're surrounding it, right? And so then, and I got pissed. I had to get up and walk away because I was mad. And I turned around and looked, and he's standing there over it with his dogs surrounding it. And I'm like, motherfucker, you better be helping that bird, or you need to step away. I mean, it's like, why would you do that? It's going to die anyway, right? Why, unless the Forestry Service comes, or unless this dude's some kind of a vet and takes it somewhere. I mean, the chances of it surviving are very small. Unless you're helping it, stay the fuck away from it. Because why would you want to traumatize something more? I mean, it's going to go through enough when it goes out, and it's the whole thing, right? And I'm just like, I was so mad. And I got sick, actually. That's when I got sick, too. And that's funny, kind of interesting. Because I was sick on Sunday and Monday, and then I couldn't go back to work until Thursday. Because I got sick Sunday night and Monday night at 2 a.m. And then I called my boss, and she's like, well, you can't come back for 48 hours. I'm like, okay, well, so the earliest will be Thursday. I said, okay, that's cool. I'll see you Thursday. And then I get there, and she's all talking about people calling in sick when they first start their jobs. And I'm just like, do you think that it didn't make me feel, I mean, I know I'd only been there, I started July 28th, and I called in sick, right? I'm like, but I was sick, right? And again, it could have been seeing I'm sure there's many factors as to why my body said, fuck you, we're going to sleep, right? That's it, right? And so, and that's our society, right? Like, you're not allowed to just feel and to be, and to, like, they want us to just keep grinding, and they're trying to make it worse. And the way that it just blows me away. Like, I was listening to Kash Patel this morning talk on, and I don't know, it was YouTube, and he was in, like, I don't know what they were questioning about. If it had something to do with Charlie Kirk, if it had something to do with Donald Trump trying to do whatever he's trying to do, I don't know. But anyway, they were questioning him about what he believes in, what he's done. And he was talking about how the FBI has taken him this many pedophiles and this many of that. And I'm like, okay, so first off, you're full of fucking shit. I believe not a word you say. So none of those numbers mean anything to me, right? Like, I'm hearing him defend himself so strongly, and I know that somewhere in the back room, before he goes out there and talks to these senators, that right now, I mean, what is it? Is the government on hold again because they haven't funded it again? I think, like, they do this every fucking year. It's so, and it's our money that they're wasting. Why we have people that, like, I have said, and I said this, and I'm gonna continue to say this. I do not know if like, right now I am taking cholesterol pills, so I really need to find a way to fix this, because I do not want to depend on our healthcare system or our government for a fucking thing when I'm dying, right? I'm 61. I want to be able to, I've told my son, if I get Alzheimer's, I'm going to write this shit down, right? I'm saying this for prosperity. This is on 9/20/25, and this is my face saying, if there's a point where you're wiping my ass, or where I'm walking into walls because I don't fucking know my name, and I don't know your name, and I can't care for myself, do not put me somewhere so they can make fucking profit off of me. Put me on a surfboard. Although I watched Open Water the other day, so I might be, well, no, shoot me full of heroin, put me on a surfboard, and we get a bunch of sharks all strung out, and create a mega shark from eating me when I'm shot full of heroin. That's actually funny. I think that would be funny. I wonder if that would happen. I don't know. But anyway, I do not, like, I worked in one of those homes and I saw, like, people that didn't even know their names walking into walls, people that couldn't get out of bed, people that just couldn't function at all, you know? And it's like, why are we keeping those people alive? Oh, for profit. Oh, yeah, for God. I'm sorry. Which God? The Trump God, the Charlie Kirk God, the Amazon God, the YouTube, yes, I'm talking YouTube, the YouTube God, the Mark Zuckerberg God, although Mark Zuckerberg's more of a, I mean, that was such a suck up thing. I didn't know what you wanted me to say, sir. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. And like, so much money that he has. Like, if he were to walk away from Trump, if any of them were just to walk away, they would be fine. They would be fine. They might not make more money, but they have enough, don't you think? I mean, I don't know. This race to be the richest person just blows me the fuck away. Like, I'm making a decent amount of money right now, but the only reason why I'm continuing at this job and because I don't care. I don't need to make this much money if I could pay off my credit cards, right? That's all I need to do is pay off these fucking credit cards. I got like $30,000 in credit card debt. Although today I redid it all and I'm like, oh, it's going down. It's going down, you know? And I've got my student loans too, which kind of worries me about my house because I don't know what they'll change. Like, I want to sell my home and give my son the money and have him buy something where I can live. I do not want anything in my name. I do not trust this government to not take shit away when I'm dead because they think they fucking can. Right? I do not trust them at all to not do that to my child. And it pisses me off because all I've ever done in my life since I've had him, which I did a lot of shit in my life before that. That was nuts. I, was raised, abused like a lot of girls and boys that were growing up that, well, even now. And it doesn't matter. It's like, whatever. Like, I saw this video. Anyway, all you've ever done is work so that he would have something when I'm gone, right? And I don't want them to be able to take that. And then I'm going to talk about this video that I saw on Reddit the other day, and it was a cake, a dick cake, and they hid it in it, and the woman's down here with her mouth open, and it shot out frosting. I don't know what kind of it. But anyway, there was like a little 12-year-old girl there, and I could hear in the girl's laugh, I knew that laugh. I remember that laugh, right? And I'm like, that was abuse right there. For them to do that in front of a 12-year-old girl, that was abuse. And it was just posted out there like it was a funny joke, right? And the little girl's laughing, and I know that laugh. And I'm like, it's so frustrating. And I know that there's a lot worse things that happen, and I know there's a lot worse things on the internet, and I know all that. But the thing about it is that, you'd think that we would get to a point where we would evolve enough to realize the things that are going to hurt us as a species and stop doing that, right? Why have we not done that? Although there's things I do to myself, my body, that I should stop doing because I know they're hurting me, right? And I don't stop. That said, there's a lot of outside factors, like all the shit that's going on. It's one thing I can control, and it's really sucky. But, it's like this control for me. I need to really let go. Like, it's, although my whole life I've needed to take control because I've done all of this. Like, I've done a lot of things on my own through my life. And again, it's not the violence. I'm just making a statement like I was thinking about it. I'm 61. I'm wondering, am I ever going to find a partner in my life? Like, I've had very few relationships and none of them were partnerships, right? And it's like, well, that's kind of a bummer. You know, I would hope that in my life that that will happen for me, but I don't know. I don't know how, you know, I just don't know how. So it's like, well, okay. Well, for starters, I'm probably too stubborn now. And I'm kind of nuts. Although, I, I was wondering, are you insane if you know you're insane? That is the question that I have, right? Like, I wonder a lot if I'm just nuts, but then I think about all the things that I've been through, and then who isn't nuts? I mean, look at who's running our fucking country, and all those people that are giving him license to do all these things, canceling Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, we all knew this was going to happen. We all knew this was going to happen, right? It's like, I knew it was going to happen, and I'm not like especially intuitive, or maybe I am, but I mean, and I've said this so many times. My son probably wants to smack me. I don't think I've said it to him for a while because he's probably got really sick of hearing it. Is that the first time I saw Trump on that stage with Hillary, I knew we were fucked. I have seen men like that all of my life, and that's the first time I saw the real him. Like, I'd seen him on TV, you know. It was like, oh, he was playing a part, right? And I watched The Apprentice just a tiny bit toward the end, and I didn't care for it, right? But that's what I saw, you know, and I didn't care for it, you know. And then when I saw him on the stage with Hillary, I'm like, oh, true colors. Oh, we're fucked, you know, we're fucked. And he won. And now there's, and then, God, and now he's got his angel, Charlie. That's funny. Jimmy Kimmel didn't even say anything about Charlie Kirk, really. It was about Donald Trump not caring like he said he did. It wasn't anything toward Charlie Kirk that I could, you know, I don't believe. I mean, I could watch it again, but I mean, even me, I'm not saying anything bad about him except, well, and that's the thing. It is bad in my viewpoint. His opinions were bad opinions in my viewpoint, right? I disagreed with his opinions, but it in my, I mean, this is America. We're supposed to be able to say that. I just am so fucking I can't believe this is where we are. I cannot believe this. And I don't even know who to believe. Like I said, I'm 61. I'm like, I'm fucking talking to a computer. It's like, what the fuck? uh, about a madman in the White House. My son's like, oh, this has happened, but no, it is not. Well, it has happened in history, but not like this. Things are different. It's different because of the internet. It's different because anybody like me can get on and spout whatever, and what they could say one thing that sparks a huge fire. You know what I mean? It's just amazing to me. It's amazing to me that the people that are out there are the ones spewing the anger and hate. Even the people, and I'm going to say this, I've said this before, even the people, the independent media that I watch, like, I can't even really watch them anymore because they're spewing it too. And my son's like, well, they should call it what it is. Yeah, okay, we can call it what it is. It's really wrong and it's really bad. But calling people pigs, and although I know I've done it, but I feel like every single time one of these people, he had a disastrous da 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 da. I'm like, okay, I guess that's a grab word, disastrous, because you see that every fucking time. We know it's a disaster, for fuck's sakes. God. I mean, those of us who have eyes and choose to actually pay attention, got it. We know that. What do you want? You want liver? I know what you want, but it's not happening. I don't know. It's all stupid. I just want, I'll say, I don't want 30 more years, I don't think. I was gonna say I have 30 good years left until I die, but now I'm gonna cut it down to 20. I don't know. I don't know. Depending on what happens, if we can, if I am able to do what I want to do with the rest of my life, once I don't know what. Now, I mean, it's like I go to this job and I'm like, fuck, God, fucking no. I don't want to waste my vision on a computer inputting fucking data and just, doing paperwork. And I don't want to waste my life doing any more of this stuff. And I don't know what the fuck to do. I need to because of the money once I get my credit cards paid off, which, how much do I still owe? And I know it's my own fault. I get that. Oh, I need to go back to Ty Cobb, dude, don't I? Hold on. Something sparkly happened. Well, it's okay. We're watching me dance. That's good enough. I'm going to see something. I did it today. I don't know how much it is. How much credit card debt do you have? More than I want. $30,271.24. I mean, it's going down. It's just I'm paying the minimum, It fucking sucks. It'll take me forever. That's the thing about this job, though. I need to figure stuff out, but I have to go to the dentist and get my bottom teeth. And then, because that's something I always said I would do when I was a kid. I knew I was going to need dentures. My family's been that way. I mean, my mom didn't teach me about taking care of my teeth. She was too busy bar hopping, or working at the bar. She would leave at 10 o'clock in the morning to go to the bar, but she didn't work until she worked the night shift until 2 in the morning. But she would go there at 10 and get drunk and then go into a back room and sleep and then come out and work. Yeah, so that's what my mom did. And Nancy, her friend, would just go. I don't know if she was gone. She was gone probably as much as my mom. I think she just sat there too and drank. She was better than my mom. So she probably just drank like a gin and tonic and then a couple, she's kept maintained. She didn't get trashed like my mother did. So, but she left her kids alone too. I mean, they just had an older sister and they were abusive. So it was, that was, my sister was abusive and let's get back to Ty Cobb. I don't know why I went off on that. Okay, so him. This is what I want to see.
Branches of government, all of whom have an obligation to try to prevent the others, from getting out of bounds. We've got a situation now where Congress has neutered itself through its cowardice, and the only bar to Trump's authoritarian instincts is the courts, and the courts are always going to be a little bit behind because that's the way they're structured, and it may not be enough.
Ty, I had that opportunity to speak with Governor Shapiro earlier today, and one of the points that he made was in previous comments, whether it be the Vice President or President Trump in his second inaugural address, talked about the need to protect the First Amendment, talked about the need to stomp out so-called cancel culture. And this really flies in the face of that. You have worked with President Trump based on your interactions with him. How do you think he views, at the time that you worked with him, these protections? Is there a shift going on, or has this always been his perspective?
No, I think consistency is not something that President Trump is known for, and he always favors whatever enriches him or flatters him. And in this circumstance, he's greatly enriched if he can silence his critics because he has free reign at that stage of the game. So I don't believe that this is in any way philosophical. This is all about his interest in power and domination.
Do you think, Ty, that the company is actually headed toward a constitutional crisis?
I think we're there. I think we've been there.
You think the country is headed toward a constitutional crisis? Sorry.
Yes, I think we're already there.
Look on her face.
And What are you going to be watching for? Do you have any optimism that the country will find its way through this moment in a way that allows it to be stronger than before, as quite frankly, history has told us it has done so many.
I'm missing something. Let me go back. Do you think the country is headed for a constitutional crisis?
And what are you going to be watching for? Do you have any optimism that the country will find its way through this moment in a way that allows it to be stronger than before, as quite frankly, history has told us it has done so many times in the past?
I feel like she wasn't prepared.
I hope that's the case. I think it will take at least a generation for the country to regain the freedoms that we enjoyed 9 months ago.
I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. It's what he said.
A generation, Ty.
If I didn't respect him before,
that's pretty stark.
I just wish he would have spoken.
You have a lot of
sooner.
MAGA people in Congress. You have a lot of MAGA judges. You have a lot of appointees. Trump is populating what he calls the deep state with loyalists as opposed to qualified people. It's going to take some time.
He says, hold on.
To root that out and get back to a situation where we had aspirational, virtuous, intelligent people in those jobs.
A stick of butter a day keeps the love handles away?
The reason butter is called butter is because of the...
It's hard to respect him when he knew that this would happen, and now he's speaking out. Okay, that's cool. Thank you for your help. No.
Playing out, Ty, and you say we're already there. What makes you feel confident that the country's already in a constitutional crisis?
Well, I think that,
I feel like
the abdication of Congress of any role or responsibility
when I was
in what's going on in America other than to rubber stamp the president's authoritarian efforts. I think that is,
I felt like she was so not prepared for that it took her a minute to get back on her feet to where she was like, oh, okay.
That is devastating to the country and clearly raises constitutional concerns that the founders hadn't contemplated. I think the founders assumed that people who took an oath of office to preserve and protect the Constitution would actually do so, as opposed to flounder like they are now.
Ty, you and I talked a lot during the first Trump administration when you served the president then, and you always made it very clear you were serving the office of the presidency. Do you have any regrets about your time there?
No. I don't have any regrets about my time there. I
don't know. We're fucked. I think we're fucked. I really do. I don't know that there's enough time. I think it's too late to obviously stop what's happened. I think it was a representative. I can't think of what representative or where. How long is this? 10 minutes? I don't know where she was, but she had on blue jeans and I think a pink shirt. And they literally she couldn't have weighed 90 pounds. She was a very slender woman, right? And they literally ice picked her up and threw her down. And I'm like, they picked her up and threw her on her ass, and I'm just like, no matter who she was, she did not deserve to be picked up and thrown on her ass, right? Like, these are men that are throwing women around because they are doing things that the president doesn't like. These are men that are throwing brown people around because the president says they're bad. These are men that are breaking windows of people's car, although I did see one that deserved it. But anyway, they're breaking car windows because they need to take someone away from their fucking children because they're brown or because, I don't know why. Because they want to, right? Because like I said, they could come for me tomorrow and what would stop them? Except for the fact that I was reading that a bunch of them have disappeared. A bunch of people from Alligator Alcatraz have disappeared. Like, they just don't know where they're gone to, right? It's like, I saw a video of them leading people into a cargo plane you know, where the bottom, and my son has told me that they have found people washed up on shore in places. So I don't know what they're trying to purge from here, but what needs to be purged is them. And I've said this a lot. Atlas needs to shrug in reverse, baby. I need to read that to make sure I'm right. I think I checked on that the other day. But we need to do something about the orange cult of death. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna go down and check and see if Michaela's okay. Okay, my son's girlfriend just spent some time with her grandmother, and that's hard on her. She's also MAGA. So I'm gonna go see if she's all right. Bye. I'll probably stream again soon. Maybe. I don't know. If I have something to say. Sometimes it's like, I think about streaming and I'm like, why are you bothering to do this? But I'm hoping that putting something out, I don't know. I don't even know. Because it's all I got right now, that's why. Peace out.